everybody, welcome back to the Big Picture Podcast. I'm your host, Charlotte Brown, and today I will be interviewing Cecile Roberfroid, the president of the Mamaroneck Artists Guild. I'm so happy to have you on here. I'm very excited. So, my first question is, how did you get involved in arts to begin with? Where did you start?
Well, thank you for having us. um, I think I've always been involved in arts. I traveled a lot as a kid, and art was like kind of the one constant thing that I had. I'm also an only child,
Well,
so making art was a way to just be grounded and figure things out. So I've always had it in my life, and then went to art school, um, combined that with art therapy, and always love to create anything and really just needed it. It's
what
a big part of me.
really cool. What inspired you throughout that moving process and throughout your education?
I think without really knowing it, I really used it to express myself. And that's the way I do art today. It's very intuitive. I don't plan or you know, I don't sketch. I just let things happen, and I think I've always created that way. And so for me, it was in a strange way. It was very
Mm.
therapeutic, and that's why I think I became an art therapist also
Mm.
because it. I saw how powerful it was, and being able to express yourself sometimes through art, whatever color medium that you use, and not having the words for it, but it comes out in the art.
What does art and therapy entail, and like what people does it help?
Right. So it's used pretty much with every type of population. Works great with kids because kids obviously sometimes don't have the words to express themselves. Um, but it also works with adults. It's really about tapping into that kind of inner self and kind of getting. Sometimes words are you're restricted by words or you're scared of saying certain words, but in the artwork, it just happens. The feelings just kind of come out. And sometimes just the act of creating allows you to take the feelings out, and you don't even necessarily need to discuss them. You
Mm.
can just express those feelings, and then there's some resolution. So it's used in psychiatric hospitals, in therapy, in schools. It's used in a lot of different places.
Can that help people with like mental health issues and like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Hmm. Did that kind of help you translate into becoming the president for the American Artists Guild? How did that sort of come along?
Right. Yeah, they're just kind of two different tracks. But uh, I joined the guild almost 4 years ago,
Mm.
and something that I always knew was around and just kind of never really got around to doing it. And so about 4 years ago, I decided let's join. And I met a lot of local artists, and as an artist, you spend a lot of time alone
Mm.
because art is something that you do on your own. And I have a home studio, so it's not like I have a shared space anywhere. And so I found that I was kind of lonely and I wanted that community. And so the Mamaroneck Artists Guild is that. It's a community of local artists. Some people, I mean, we do cover the tri-state area, but it's really more local artists. And it's just really nice to meet people that kind of speak the same language and understand what art is and the struggles sometimes that you go through. And so for me, it's been an amazing experience because of the community. And that's really what made to it.
I think, like you said, art is a very more solo process. I mean, besides from just gaining that community, were you able to collaborate with any people with like art or like projects or events? And also, 4 years and you're the president, that's insane. How did you do that?
Well, yes, I'm the president. Just it's a volunteer based
Mm.
organization, so it's just kind of who steps up and yeah. So I wanted to help, and then they needed a president, so
What did you learn kind of growing into that role and trying to organize everything? Because that's a lot.
it is a lot. It is a lot. It's honestly almost a full time job, but again, I think that I learned that for me that sense of community is actually the really important thing. So I spent a lot of time trying to reach out to other organizations, just getting to know people, uh, meeting with different people. I mean, I met with Adam from the Roy Art Center and all the different the kind of local organization, trying to find ways to collaborate, find ways to do things together. Uh, and really focused on trying to get our name in the community, because it's not just about, yes, we need, like, this fundraiser is coming up, we need funds, right? But it's also about the fact that art has to be accessible to everybody. And I think that um, the more we can put our art out there, the more people find it easier to access. There's always it's hard for a lot of people to walk into a gallery or walk into a museum, right?
Yes.
Because it's very formal and they feel that maybe they don't know anything about art or they don't understand art. When you just need to look at it, right? There's no right or wrong in what you feel or think when you see a piece of artwork. You can love it, you can hate it. There's, again, it's completely up to you. It's how you interpret it. And so taking away that kind of formality of being in a gallery and allowing the art to be in the community. In we're going to be collaborating with a bookstore and putting artwork there. We're hoping to put work in real estate agencies. Like, just,
Yeah.
it helps us as artists to be exposed, to show our work, but it also helps, I think, anybody to just see the artwork, and it makes it more beautiful, so it makes it more accessible.
Do you think there's kind of like a snootiness in the art world where like only like a certain type of person can kind of, be an artist or, go enter a gallery? Is that kind of like a boundary you kind of want to push past, like as a president with this guild?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I do think that there's, unfortunately, I think the art world has gotten a bad rep because of certain,
Mm.
museums or galleries or the art world that has tried to bring themselves up so much that there is a certain amount of snootiness. And I feel intimidated when I go into one of those big galleries and, they kind of look at me like, well, you're not going to be buying anything, right? But I want to be there to enjoy the work. I want to have that relationship with the artwork, and I want to try and give that to as many viewers as possible. And I think that as a guild, it's kind of our responsibility to give back to the community and to build all these bridges with the community.
Mm. That's cool. I feel like art, I've interviewed a lot of people and like their relationship with art and music and everything like that. And I think it's like really beautiful, like the way people connect to it so much and they find like a home in it, like a community with it. I mean, in 4 years you were the president. So, and do you have a concrete, like tangible goal you want to accomplish in the next 4 years for the guild?
Oof. Well, we'll see if I'm there in 4 years.
I think you will be.
uh, well, yeah, I think one of the main goals that I need to focus on is to make it financially more stable,
Mm.
so that we can accomplish more of our goals, to continue to connect with the community, to really grow our presence. So that's really important. And then also the guild part is about really helping the membership and helping
Yes.
the artist build what they need. So whether it's finding way, like, helping them be able to show in different places, whether it's developing actual artistic skills, learning to talk about their work, like, so that part of it, that kind of educational part of it, is also really important. And we've kind of ramped up our programs, in offering more, like, monthly meetings and groups and workshops to help that. So it's kind of a two stand.
You think like when you're trying to reach out your message and like your mission, are you leaning towards more of a specific demographic, like age-wise or, skill-wise, or are you more just trying to be more open to like everybody and you just want to like have everybody, or you maybe targeting like children or something?
Right. So the Mamaroneck Artist Guild doesn't, we don't work with like, we don't have children members, or we
Mm.
don't do classes for children,
Mm.
but we do. I mean, obviously, the next generation is the generation that will be, our members. So we try to connect with the high schools. We work with them, the Mamaroneck High School, New Rochelle High School,
Mm.
French American School. Um, we have a student show once a year in the winter. We also have interns. So right now I have a high school intern. I have a Haddonville College intern. So I think it's important to bring them in. We also have our membership for people under 20 25 is very, very low.
Mm.
So it's very easy for them to join, and I support that as much as possible, because I think that we need to bring the young generation into the guild. That's the only way we're gonna, you know, again, kind of fulfill our mission. Yeah.
Yes. How do you feel about like AI being part of art and everything and how that's going to influence the next couple years of art?
I don't want to be scared of it,
Mm,
right? I think it's here to stay. I think it's important to just acknowledge that because then we can learn to live with it. Uh, there's ways to make AI an incredibly powerful, positive thing, and there's ways that it won't be so positive. So I think in the art, we need to try and protect ourselves in, allowing the artist to continue to create without running the risk that that work gets stolen by AI. So I think, and I don't know what I can do personally, but it's definitely something to be aware of. Uh, I think AI can help artists in a lot of the stuff we have to do on the side of, writing cover letters and resumes and emails and all that. So that's something that we should, as artists, learn how to use.
mm.
But the artwork itself is, it's a big question.
Yeah. I see a lot of like videos like online of like, like AI art and everything, and I feel like it's just kind of soulless. I feel like what makes art special is like it's the human element, like the human emotion, which you talked about earlier, is like having a relationship with the art. And I think that's really important.
But you're right, and I don't know how. I don't have the answer on how we protect ourselves.
Mm,
And I think this is going to go across not just physical arts, but I think it like painting or drawing, but
yeah,
it's also going to be in music and movie making and
yeah.
so photography. I mean, it's going to cover all arts. So it is something we need to talk about. I mean, again, it's here to stay, so we need to have that conversation,
Mm,
and we need to try and protect ourselves and find ways to yeah differentiate ourselves from the machine.
mm.
You know,
What advice would you give to someone who's trying to start out with art?
well, I think the number one thing is to always remember that it's something that you do for yourself.
Mm,
Um, if you do it for yourself, then it's true to you and you will love it. Even on the days that it's a struggle sometimes, I mean, we all, as artists, we all go through periods where, we make bad art or what we consider bad art. It's okay. Just remember that it's for you before
mm,
anything else. Be be curious, have fun. It's a gift. So many people don't have or feel that they don't have an artistic voice, and and when you do and you have it, like just use it in any way, shape, or form, and remember that it really is a gift.
mm.
And then if you want to go into the art world, continue to be true to yourself. It's a tough business as an artist, especially well, going back to that conversation about AI. Yeah, people prefer. A lot of people will buy $100 print versus an original painting. So you're struggling. You're fighting with that. But what you do as an artist is so incredibly important, and it will live forever. And you hold on to that. It's not easy, but I think it's an amazing thing to be able to do, to express yourself in an artistic way in any way, shape, or form. It's really good.
I really like that comment. It's for yourself. Do it for yourself. I feel like what I've seen with artists, I feel like it's more, it seems like people are trying to do it. Oh, it has to be good for like the people who are going to review my portfolio. It has to be good for this, it has to be good for that. And I feel like people are under so much pressure to just make it good to other people. And like other people are looking at it. And if other people are looking at it, it has to be perfect. And I kind of didn't realize that it really is just about yourself and like how you make it like that. I mean, how do you feel about like young people kind of not like kind of, putting like their art kind of aside to like go on to careers that seem more like stable or like that there's a higher chance of like, making it besides art because art is a hard industry, but it's needed, I think.
It is needed, and unfortunately, yeah, you got to pay your bills at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Um, and and I get it. I mean, whatever career you choose, like I mean, hopefully you pick something, even if you kind of put your art aside, you're still picking something that you like. Uh, but don't give it up. You
Yeah.
can you can do it on the side. You can, if you feel that you have to do another career, you have to, I don't know, become a history teacher. Okay, so be a history teacher, right? But you should still do your singing or your painting or whatever on the side for you. And then maybe one day you can actually, start doing it more professionally. again, I think it's one of those really cool things about being an artist is that it never ends. I mean, we have we have members that are well in their 90s,
Wow.
still doing work.
90.
They're still creating and they're doing amazing work. And you look back on their lifetime of work and it's amazing, like that process that has grown with them as a human being. And so art allows you can create until any age. So yeah, I mean, yes, I encourage people to go into the art world, but I also recognize that unfortunately you got to pay your bills at the end of the year, or the month, whatever. So it's a hard balance, but you don't need to give it up, right? Even if you decide that you have to choose another career, you don't need to give up your art.
That's so true. I mean, how do you feel about social media kind of allows people to have that side, be able to continue art on the side? I mean, I saw like your website and your art, and I think it's really cool that you have that outlet. Like, how do you feel that that is an avenue for other people to take?
Yeah, I think yeah, social media has completely changed how an artist communicates with the world. It's crazy. You have people from around the world that communicate, that see your work, which was something that 20 years ago was not possible. So that's a really cool side of social media, and you do get to, um, it's a little scary, but you do get to put your work out there a lot more. Nobody can stop you, right? It's not like the gallery doesn't have to say yes, I'm going to show your work, or I get to just put it out there, and then hopefully the algorithm will promote me.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that that's something that, again, artists, it's here to stay, right? So we need to learn to make it work to our advantage. And I think that the way to do it is just to know that this is just one other platform to show your work and enjoy it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, besides, financials and all that stuff that comes with the guild and everything, what's something that has sort of frustrated you or has been difficult, but that you've kind of like learned and surpassed from during this process?
Well, it's been a real learning curve for me. I got thrown into being on the board and being president kind of overnight, and it's not anything I've ever done before. So um, a lot of it has been just learning how to run an organization and knowing that it's not just the things that I want to do, it's listening to other people, it's working with everybody else, it's knowing that I might want to do this huge, big, beautiful thing for the gallery, but yeah, you know what, we don't have the money or we don't have the manpower. Trying to motivate people to volunteer because it's all volunteer based is something that I didn't realize was that hard. I'm trying different things to try and get my membership to be more active. So maybe that's the hardest thing, and I'm still figuring it out of just how to motivate people to participate and to volunteer and to work in the guild.
You mentioned earlier, like, art is very solo thing. How has like your ability to like communicate with people and try to like forge that community helped with branching out of that like kind of solo like way of life in a sense? Like, you have to interact with more people. How does the social aspect of art kind of come into this?
Well, I find that my art making is still very much a solo thing.
Yeah.
I still just kind of retreat into my own space.
Mm.
Um, Having access to this community and has it there's a certain level of comfort when I meet other artists and when I join this community and in the way we talk about art, which is something that when I'm with non-artists is a little different,
Mm.
sometimes harder. So I think like I feel like I'm that people get me a little more.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, I mean the process of art making continues to stay very much a personal soul thing. Yeah, who knows? Maybe that will change too.
Maybe. We're almost about to end, but if there's anything else you want to get out there that you want to say about the guild and like your work and future events that are coming up, please feel free to share now. This has been wonderful.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much for having me. I would love to share the fact that we have a fundraiser coming up on Friday and Saturday. So it's a 2-day event. We're inviting artists to do what we call plein air painting or photography or and kind of up and down the Sound Shore towns. And so they can start on Friday morning and work Friday, Saturday. And then on Saturday evening at 5 o'clock, we have a silent auction uh, to sell off all the work that artists have created. And uh, we're going to be showing the work in the BMW of Mamaroneck. So they have this huge renovated space, and we're hoping to just have tons of easels with a ton of work, and people hopefully can bid and buy the artwork. So,
That is truly wonderful. I have learned so much from you. I feel like you just have like a great story and like a great message to put out there. I'm so glad I got to capture it. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a wonderful day.
thank
Bye.
you. Bye.